Okay, I have everything ready to go. You also want to have some clips nearby. Some of these little claw clips, because you'll find that it's helpful to section off hair. I have little tiny ones too. Those are really cute and they're really helpful. Okay, so let's start by mixing some product. Now you'll get so many applications out of this pack if you don't want to just use it all up in once. You just, for your hair, if you don't want to add tons and tons of highlights. Okay, so oh, wait a minute. Time out. I wanted to use the 1/8 of a teaspoon. So I'm using an 1/8 of a teaspoon just to show you a little bit what I do. Okay, that's just an 1/8 of a teaspoon. I'm just going to do a few little highlights. And then I'm going to use the 1/4 of a teaspoon because I need to do twice what this is. So if this is an 1/8 of a teaspoon of powder, you'll need a 1/4 of a teaspoon of volumizer, of lift. And then you're going to mix them together. Okay, so for me, I like to mix the two. So I'm going to take a tiny bit of 30, and then I'm going to take the rest 40, put it in my little spoon. Okay, are you able to see that? And then I'm going to mix the product like this. You just stir it up. Okay? Now, this is the end of part 1, and in the next part, part 2, we're going to have applying the application to your hair. Okay, because we're running out of a little time on this video, so please tune into part 2 so that you can see how to apply it. Now we've got our product ready to go. Okay, tune into part 2 to see how you put it on. Hi. Hi, and welcome back to U-Tips for You. We've got part 2 now, which is how to apply the product that we've mixed up to highlight our hair, okay? And I did want to mention that you can, this product, Kaleidacolor, which I showed you, comes in 2 other shades. One's for warmer tones, so if you're darker, your hair's more brunette, you just want to add golden or warmer highlights, you can get that one. Like I said, I chose this one because I'm looking for the blonder color, okay? But you can, they're very helpful in the store when you go in there and if you want to ask any questions. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to select a hair that we want to do. And I just want to point out that you don't really need to do all of your underneath layers of hair if your hair isn't dark, because you get the effect of having the sun hits your hair naturally, and so it really only highlights the outer areas and around your face as a frame. So try to mimic that. Try to pick the outer areas of your hair and just work on that. You can leave all this underneath hair healthy, color-free. You don't have to highlight that. You don't have to fuss with that. That will just grow nice and strong, because as we all know that, highlighting your hair does dry it out more, and you have to be more careful with it, and it can cause more breakage, but it also causes you to have more volume, which is nice. It gives you a little lift. Okay, so I have chosen that I'm going to just grab this hair. Now, if you were going to highlight layers of the hair, you would work down. So you would take this hair first, you put your product on it, then you'd get the next would be this one, and you'd put your product and then down, and then you'd be done. But just for this video now, I'm just going to grab one of my hairs for you. I want to show you how to do this. If you work with a thinner strand of hair, the better it is. I would say don't get thicker than this right here. This is the thickest you should go, because any more than that, and sometimes it doesn't color as evenly, and it doesn't come up as good, and then you have kind of like near the root area a little bit of yellow. But again, remember, we're forgiving for ourselves because we're doing it ourselves. So if you need to, you put it back on. Now the best part of this is I always work with the same hair. So I'm not using any more of my hair each time I do this. I will always go back to the same blonde strands that I do, and I'll work on them. So now you've taken your comb, the pick on the end, you make a little lip over the comb so so that you've got like a little edge, okay? Now you grab your hair that you've chosen, you hold it in your hand, you put the foil like so, okay? And you hold it. Now, you want to pull this nice and taut. You don't want to hurt yourself, but you want to pull the comb against the hair so you've got it nice and taut so you get as close to the roots to your scalp as you can, so you'll minimize that regrowth and hold it off as long as you can. And then you dip your brush into your product a little. You start right here at the tip. Are you getting this close in, cameraman? Okay. And you only go, for me, I'm only going for the area that needs the color, okay? Now, you can get it on your fingers if you wash it off. Sometimes I just hold it there like that so I can move the hair. You're going to take the hair that does not have color on it. You can see I've already got blonde on this. I don't want to get any color on that. I want to leave that, let it be healthy. Now, I'm going to fold the foil in half. Of course, I picked a back hair, so it's not as easy for me. But, you fold it in half, and you have it meet the other half exactly. So you don't want any hair exposed or product exposed. And you make it nice and flat, and then you fold it again. Now, if you have to work more in that area, you're going to have to move it out of your way. So you can bend it in half like that, and then you can work on the hair that's right here. And I happen to want to grab one of these strands over here. So that's going to be my next target. But first, you see I got product on my finger, and it does have peroxide in it, so it will turn your finger white, and eventually it will itch and kind of bother you. So you want to wash that off in between working with your next foil.